Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Gale here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Battle Chronicle video. And today we are here to take a look at the brand new Fest unit, Hedin Sirland. Of course, one of the brand new units that we've been kind of waiting for quite some time now, purely because we've known about Hedin and Alan being units since like pretty much December. Of course, if you guys weren't aware, back then we had a convention happening in Japan where Aiming Inc. were basically going to be partaking in that convention center and setting up basically a sort of like booth basically where they were selling merchandise. And in that merchandise we knew that they were going to be selling characters artworks as acrylic stands basically. I think they were acrylic stands. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were acrylic stands. And so we had units like, I think it was like Christmas Eyes and a couple of other units. Wedding Ryu as well was in there. We knew that there was going to be a secret character because of that as well, because they had said that there will be a secret character available as well, which ended up being, of course, Season 5 Ryu. Level 6 Ryu, that is, of course, right? And we knew along with that as well, we were going to be seeing an Alan and Hedin acrylic stand as well, which means that, or which meant at the time, that they were inevitably coming. Now, fast forward a month and a half, we finally got them in game, and it does seem like they were kind of waiting for, of course, the season to restart, basically to release Hedin. In the meantime, they've been rerunning the units. They, of course, released the Freya as well. And so, yeah, it has taken some time for, of course, Hedin to come out, and he is an electric support unit. Now, of course, we're going to break him down. We're going to check him out and see how he is. Now, before we even get into, of course, discussing whether or not you should summon for this unit, immediately I will say that you should probably just wait. He's available until the 23rd of February, so you've got 2 weeks, which is a lot better than I think they've been doing. So I guess they've been kind of listening to some of us in that sense, I suppose, right, in regards to you know, the duration of how long these Fest banners have been running for. The fact that they've been running for a week has been absolutely shocking, to be quite honest, but the fact that they're at least running now for 2 weeks is pretty darn good. And it also allows players to obviously see what's happening for the half anniversary with Artemis and Hermes, see if they're any good, if they're Fest units in the first place as well, and then decide, you know, whether or not they want to summon on that, or they want to summon on Hedin's banner, or for that matter, even this re-release banner as well, by the way. So just keep that in mind. I would say just wait, be patient, don't summon right now. I would say that there's a couple of days for you to decide whether or not you want to summon for Hedin or not. And yeah. Now, he is an electric support unit, which is quite surprising to me, to say the least, because, you know, we did get the Freya. Remember, we did get that Freya unit, right, a couple of weeks back, of course, right? And she is an electric DPS unit, an electric attack roll unit. So I'm kind of surprised that they've decided to give Hedin a support role instead of an attack role, to be quite honest, because I thought it would have made much more sense to have given him that role. I mean, it still works fine, you know, you'll still be able to utilize Freya really well, and there's no doubt about it. It's only just the ability board side is going to be a bit of a problem from Hedin's side, because if you don't know, of course, and if you're not aware, if you take a look at, say, for example, the Gulliver Brothers' ability board, and you see what their sort of ability board is, you get only the special move damage increase when a defense roll assist is in use. And this is the same for all other units. Depending on what role they are, they will have that as an activation condition. So in the case of the Gulliver Brothers, it's defense roll assist needing to be required. For Wind Bell, it's attack roll assist needing to be required, and so on and so forth. So in that situation, I will say we're going to see probably a slightly weaker Hedin because of that. I was going to say Alfred because we were on the Gulliver Brothers, but no, we'll see a weaker Hedin because of that. But I don't think it should be a problem too much so, because of the rest of what, you know, she's able to provide in her kit, in the sense of that being said, I'm talking about Freya in this case, of course, right? So yeah, that's just my opinion on that front. Now let's take a look at the character details, see what he's like. Is the power a bit oh, I guess it's level 100. That's why I was like, the stats seem a bit too high, but I forgot that level 100 is a thing, to be fair. I completely forgot about that. All right, let's bring it back down to A0. We're gonna check him out at level 10 skill links, or techniques level, I should say. Skill links. I'm thinking about Dokkan right now. We're gonna take a look at the skill levels being at 10, and of course A0 first and foremost. Then we'll jump up A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and so on and so forth. Now, what I would like for him to be is, I personally, as a Fest unit for one, and number two, as a support unit, he needs to be basically way better than Summer Lafia, because Summer Lafia is the only other support unit we have for electric, basically, right? Electric wise, we only have one support unit, and that's Lafia, the Summer Lafia. And on the other side of the coin, you know, if as a Fest unit, we only have I was gonna say Aphrodite, Harmonia as the only other Fest support unit. So I don't know if I want him to be as good as Harmonia, honestly speaking, in the sense of like if he needs to be at that level, but I would appreciate it if he's at least close to that level. You know, he doesn't need to be Harmonia's level necessarily, but he needs to be close to that level as a Fest unit, as a unit that's going to be extremely limited and stuff. Probably not going to be getting that many reruns often. You know, it would be amazing if we can get him to be somewhat decent on that front, of course, right? That would be very much so a requirement in that sense. So anyways, let's take a look. So normal attack multiplier of 104%, two consecutive 4-hit front-facing AoE attacks. That is a bit higher for a support unit than normal, no? Let's check Harmonia, because Harmonia is probably going to be our best bet, and then we can probably take a look at maybe something like this as well. No, even Harmonia is only 52%. I think Harmonia gets it at A4. She gets that boost to 144%. So yeah, it shows that even like Harmonia is like super weak in that sense when it comes to her ability. I mean, if you take a look at even this lady right here, 52%, Asfi is to 52%. So he does seem to have a really strong sort of normal attack multiplier here, which is really good. That's pretty solid. That'll keep him at least going when it comes to his normal attacks. You'll be able to see it perform really well, of course, and that'll do a really good job there. Caius Hilder is, or Caius Hilder, however you want to pronounce it. Attack multiplier 155%, cooldown 200, so shorter cooldown than normal. 5-hit front-facing AoE attack, applies 15% increased special move damage to your unit for 10 seconds, and it gives you 10 stacks. Okay, so that's 150% special move damage increase to your unit for 10 seconds, basically, which is really solid. Oh wait, that's at A5. 130%, 13%, 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds is a lot shorter than I thought, but still, not bad at all. That's 130% at A0, which is really good. Varian Hilder, attack multiplier of 195%, cooldown 800, so that's a regular cooldown there for a second skill. 1-hit front-facing AoE attack, applies 3% continuous recovery to all units for 5 seconds, and then when the enemy is binded, inflicts faint for 1 second. 1 second isn't gonna make a big difference, but I guess it's there, I suppose. But the recovery is pretty good. Hopefully there's more to this skill at higher awakenings. I'd hope so, at least. I'd really hope so. Callus Hilderation, attack multiplier of 390%, cooldown 2000, 1-hit front-facing AoE attack, applies 13% damage received increase for 20 seconds, and bind for 3 seconds to enemy. Okay, applies 52% electric damage increase to all units for 20 seconds, and activates a field effect for 10 seconds. Inflicts damage with attack multiplier of 32.5% for every 1 second, and reduces endurance by 13% for 15 seconds on enemies that enter the field. Okay, that's actually pretty good, honestly. It's a very solid skill overall. You're able to get damage received increase, electric damage boost, and a pretty solid electric damage boost, damage on the field effect as well, and reduces endurance. It's good. It's a very good support skill. This is actually very good, and yikes, it's getting even better. Okay, 450% attack multiplier, cooldown 2000, 15% damage received increase for 25 seconds, bind for 5 seconds, 60% electric damage increase for 25 seconds, and then a further 65% damage increase to all units. Activates a field effect for 10 seconds, and then inflicts the damage with attack multiplier 37.5% for every 1 second on enemies that enter the field, and inflicts 15% and reduces endurance for 20 seconds. Yeah, you kind of want him at A1, because at A1 he's actually fucking ridiculous with the special move. That's insane. That is actually insane. A2 is 150%, and we've seen this already. 15%, 10 seconds, makes sense completely there, right? A3, 4% continuous recovery to all units for 8 seconds, 225% attack multiplier, 39% increase in special move damage to your unit for 10 seconds. Wow, okay. I wonder if these two can technically stack. If they can stack, that's 189% you're getting special move damage wise, which is great. Enemies binded, inflicts fade for 3 seconds. That's a little bit better. And then A4 increases it even further. 4% continuous recovery to all units for 8 seconds. 46.8% increases special move damage to your unit for 10 seconds. And then when your enemy is in bind, inflicts fade for 3 seconds and grants 50% damage increase to yourself as well. Wow. Okay, A5 is just ridiculous, it seems like. 600% attack multiplier, 20% damage received increase for 30 seconds, bind for 8 seconds to enemy, applies 80% electric damage and 78% damage increase. So that's a bit of an odd one. And 32.5% action skill damage increase to all units for 30 seconds and activates a field effect for 10 seconds. 50% attack multiplier and reduces endurance by 20% and 3% increases damage received for 25 seconds for a maximum stack of 5. Wow, okay. Yeah, this guy's insane. This guy's probably the best support in the game, to be quite honest, especially as you get higher and higher. At base level, you're probably still better off with Harmonia, but I think once you hit A1 and stuff like that, and maybe even get to A3 and onwards, you're probably seeing a better than Harmonia unit here, basically. That's crazy. And then he's also offensive as well, so you slap on like Freya with him and he's ridiculous basically as well. Very solid unit. Again, if Artemis ends up being pretty mid, which I kind of doubt because it's going to be the anniversary unit, she has to be kind of crazy. But if Artemis ends up being mid, I would honestly recommend going for this guy, because that he'll be really fucking good. Especially he'll be able to boost up all the electric units. What he's going to be able to do is he's going to be able to prop up a lot of the electric units that are ass right now and make them even stronger. You know, the likes of base Artemis or Aisha or Finn, and especially if they inevitably get buffs. Right, Aisha and Finn, this will be ridiculous. And then of course Lid is also there as an option, right? Long term, if once he gets going, he's gonna be insane as well. So just keep that in mind, is that, you know, you might want to consider those things as well while you're looking into this unit. Let's do the trial quest and see how he is on his own at A5. Of course, we're probably not gonna get a support unit for him or anything in this, so he's gonna be a little bit weaker than what it may seem like, of course, right? Unfortunately, due to just generally how the game is structured with the trial quest, which is stupid in my opinion. I think they should be doing more things of, like, you know, showing us with assists like Freya and stuff. You know, you've got Freya and stuff. Still not bad, obviously, off rip. Also good range also on the attacks, it seems like. Very good range. At least on skill 1, and of course his normals is pretty darn good. What about his second skill? Second skill is also very good. It's all very front facing, which is good. It'll allow you to at least get a little bit of movement there, and that seems to be okay. So the field effect comes right in front of you, so I think that's pretty good in all honesty. And damn, that did a lot of damage as shippies. I didn't even deal any damage there. Let me try and do this again. Okay. Yeah, I mean, come on, that's pretty solid. Okay, yeah, his field effect damage is going to be pretty insane. This is obviously A5, but that's pretty insane. This is the first time I've seen it be so easy with the support unit damage-wise. So he is very much like an offensive support unit, for sure, no doubt about it. That's kind of ridiculous as to how easy it was to clear that. I'm very surprised. I'm very, very surprised. I do think this guy's really worth it. Like I said, I think depending on the situation that we have when it comes to, of course, the Artemis coming up on Wednesday or whatever it is, and, you know, whatever ends up happening, I think it might be worth considering going for this guy. Honestly, I really do think it'll be worth considering going for this guy. Let's do a multi as we normally do on these banners, see if we can get something good. It is amino, of course, but doesn't mean it's gonna be anything insane unless we see eyes. But yeah, I think this guy's super worth it. If you are planning on going for him, I really wouldn't blame y'all. I really would not blame y'all. No eyes, so probably gonna be some random ass as you are probably a scene card if I'm not lucky. This is Tiona. Oh, was it Tiona? I think I heard Tiona. Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Tiona. So yeah, we ended up getting Tiona, which is useless to me because I already have her A5, I think. So it is what it is. But yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys did, if you guys did go for him, hopefully it really went well. He does seem pretty sick, in my opinion. He does seem very, very strong. I just think that, of course, if you have Harmonia at already A5, maybe then there's no real reason to go for him. Or if you are not in need of an electric unit, then you can easily skip him, kind of thing. But I do think that he'll be extremely valuable long term as well, you know, with more, especially if they're going to give it to each typing, like, you know, there's going to be one for fire, one for electric, one for this, one for that. Having an option like that as a, you know, support unit for those dedicated teams is going to be amazing. Now, obviously, one thing I will say is that we don't really have type-based missions anymore, realistically, because they're not updating the story, right? If they were updating the story, this probably would be an amazing pickup to have, of course, right? For example, when we had the Orion challenge thing where you had to have like 6 electric attribute units in your team, kind of thing, right? then it would be extremely valuable. But right now it's kind of like we don't get those missions anymore, so it's a bit harder to recommend if you're looking to build like full on like specific teams. The only place you'd really require it is like damage ranking and stuff like that more so, and maybe you could say raids. But yeah, anyways, let me know if you guys did pull for him and if you guys got him. Hopefully your summons did go well. If you're planning on waiting, I 100% respect that. I think it's better to wait and see what Artemis can do and stuff, and then decide if you want to go for Hedin or not. There's still a lot of time. This guy is out for another 2 weeks, so take your time with it. Don't rush into it, and hopefully you guys can enjoy using him, of course, in the coming weeks if you did pull him. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.